All the good times are past and gone. All the good times are old. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. Hey y'all, Jim Pankey here with lesson number 7 of our beginning Bluegrass Banjo backup series, and this is going to be it. This is going to be the end of this series, because if I go really any further, it won't be beginning. It'll be more intermediate or advanced, and really the bulk of what you're ever going to do playing backup Bluegrass Banjo are these basic techniques. They're the things that I use, and yeah, there's banjo backup licks and stuff that you can learn, and maybe I'll do some of those in some later series. But really, seriously, the main thing that y'all need to focus on when you're playing backup banjo is less is more. There are times that you will find that it might just be best not to play anything at all. One of the bands I used to play with, and I forget what song it was we did, but our band leader, when he would talk about the song, and then when it came to the end of it, or when he was introducing it, he would always say, "Now y'all pay real close attention to the backup work that Jim does on this tune." And the backup work was usually just me standing at the back of the stage, because it just didn't require a lot of banjo. So, but there again, that's totally up to you. So let's look at this and song. And I'm going to use All the Good Times Are Past and Gone. It's an old traditional tune. But the main reason I wanted to do it is it's a song in 3/4 time, or in waltz time. It counts to 3, and we hadn't done that. So really wanted to show you that, and so let's just look at it. I'll show you a couple of different patterns. I'll show you 3 different ways to play this 3/4 pattern for this song, and I promise you can do them. So what I did just for the intro was just the standard bass note and a vamp. But counting to 3, it goes 1, 2, 3. So you got three vamps. So it's like, all the good times are, and then it goes to C chord. But vamp, vamp. Now that's one way to do that, and as you notice, that worked pretty well. If you wanted to be a little fancier, then you can do this other little pattern that I do sometimes, and let me show you it. I'll turn here where you can see my right hand. It's thumb, thumb. So I'm using my thumb twice in a row. I'm using on a 4, 3, pinch, pinch. So it's 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. And the pinch I'm just doing with my fingers there, 1 and 2. So 4, 3, pinch, pinch. And so in the context of the song, it sounds like, all the good times are past and gone. All the good times are gone. Now, one thing you can do, so if we're counting 1 and 2, 3, and 1 and 2, 3, we can pinch that last thing twice. Creates eighth notes, and it adds a little more to the flavor of this backup. And if it's just a couple of you playing together, you might want to add a little more. So you could go, so the pattern there is 4, 3, pinch, and then that one pinches twice. 4, 3. So if I'm counting to 3, it goes 1, 1 and 2, 3, and 1 and 2, 3, and 1 and 2, 3, and. Also notice that I'm vamping or muting some of those. So if we do the basic one, vamp, see I could let off. So on my left hand, I let those strings up. I don't take my fingers all the way off. Remember, we're just going to pick them up off the fret. But if I do the other one, the 4, 3. So vamp, vamp, and then I let that last one ring. So let's do that really slow. Does that make sense? Remember, you can slow these videos down thanks to YouTube. Wonderful technology. Sure wish I'd have had such an animal when I was learning to play. I wouldn't have worn out nearly as many records. So let me show you how that sounds in the context of the tune. So, all the good times are past and gone. All the good times are gone. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. There you go. Yeah, let's mix the words up, but that, you get the idea. So that's how that works. Now, another thing that you will hear if you listen to a bunch of bluegrass, and you better be listening to a bunch of bluegrass, listen to Flatt and Scruggs. Download every bit of Flatt and Scruggs that you can get and listen to it. Find all of the Stanley brothers and listen to that, and find all the Bill Monroe and Jimmy Martin. You be listening to a bunch of bluegrass. That way you'll hear how this is supposed to sound, because you can't create it if you don't know what it sounds like. There's one other 3/4 pattern that you can do, and it's a forward roll. It's just 3, 2, 1. So if we just hold our G shape, so it's just 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And that's all that's there. Now you don't even have to hold your whole G. You can just hold, you don't need your ring finger for this. And most of the time when I play this, I don't use my ring finger. So I'm just... So that, you can do that over the chords. So in the context of the song, it would sound like, all the good times are past and gone. All the good times are o'er. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. See how that sounds? Ralph Stanley does that a bunch. You'll hear him do it at Rank Strangers, and you'll hear him do it in Stone Walls and Steel Bars. So that's a really neat, like for I wandered again to my home in the mountains, like from Rank Stranger. Or Stone Walls and Steel Bars, same thing. Stone walls and steel bars, love on my mind. I'm a 3-time loser, I'm long gone. 4 pattern, just a forward roll, is a pretty important thing. So let's stick some of these together, and I'll just play through a verse and a chorus of All the Good Times Are Past and Gone, and then I'll talk to you here in just a second. So here we go. I wish to the Lord I'd never been born or died when I was young. I never would have seen your sparkling blue eyes or heard your lying tongue. All the good times are past and gone. All the good times are old. All the good times are past and gone. Little darling, don't you weep no more. So there you go. All right, y'all. So practice all of these 3-4 lessons, or 3-4. Practice this 3-4 lesson and all of those previous lessons that we did for this series. I mean, there's so much there that you can experiment with. Try different rolls, try different right hand vamps. Create your own. I mean, most of these things that I'm doing, like that, nobody really showed me that. That's just something that I kind of figured out that would work. And so experiment, try different things, and practice. And oh, so we've got a bunch of you wanted me to do a live stream and a kind of an Ask Jim. So I'll do that real soon. That'll be the next thing that y'all will see from me. It'll be a live stream with me. Just hopefully I can have a computer screen so I can see your questions, because the way I shoot this now I wouldn't be able to see anything. So I see your questions and answer them, and let's not turn it into a, hey, when are you going to teach us this kind of song? I'd rather show you, talk to you about, other stuff, and but it'd pretty much be a ask anything sort of deal. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to your questions. Till then, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, you get notifications. That helps me, it helps you. Check out the links below. I'll have my Patreon link down there, and be sure to check out Recording King. If you're looking for if you're in the market for a banjo, I sure would appreciate it if you was to look at those folks. And we'll see you next time. Bye.